Hello, my name is Russ Martin. What I'm going to be talking to you about is my little learning curve about how to pick a lock. Primarily what I do is I work for locksmiths, and I make their phones ring. I do SEO in their websites, but what I like to really use as a disclosure is the essence of making their phone ring. And there's a trackable way to be able to calculate it so that I know that my client's phone is ringing, and he knows it's ringing, and he cannot tell me, no, my phone's not ringing, because in Google Analytics there's a thing that tells me how many times his phone does ring, and as long as that phone is ringing, I know I'm doing my job. Well, in this essence, I've learned about the successes of my locksmiths, and a couple of them said, well, Russ, learn how to be a locksmith. And so I am. Yesterday I went out on my first job and I failed to pick a door lock for a customer. And so I'm back home playing with a few of the tools that I purchased but never practiced with. And one of them was this padlock here. And let me see if I can get it into a good view here so you can see the little pins in there. So anyway, what I kind of discovered was a few of my mistakes. One was these tension bars. I couldn't get them into the lock effectively, and quite honestly I was afraid of shoving it in there into this lock and jamming the system up and not being able to get my tension bar back out. So when I came back to practice with this, I realized you can, these things go all the way in. And so, goes to show you how much I prepared myself before going out to see this customer. Interesting. So anyway, with this, I had purchased this, and it was very inexpensive, and yeah, I learned that you can put this in there, and you can actually slide your your picking tool in there, and it all slides in. I had this kit that I bought, which was a picking tool kit, and you can see that it has all the little toys in it for picking. But that didn't help me yesterday. So anyway. With this lock, I realized you can go in, put your tension in, and pull some reasonable tension on it, and then it just really boils down to is trying to figure out the technique that it takes to get this to release, and all of these pins to line up and do their little dance, and and with this particular lock that they've given us as a test lock. To learn on. It's relatively simple, but you can make mistakes. But I couldn't, but again, let me see if I can get my hands under this correctly. There we go, now I can get the tension on it. So you push your little tension and you start working, but I thought that you would be able to tension this thing completely, where you would push one up and you'd be able to feel the pin snag, because of the tension you're putting on it, and then go to the next one and snag it, and snag it, and snag it. So far, I'm not finding that to be the case. This lock is relatively set up to be simple to pick. So all I did is kind of line things up, look at them. Once they line up smooth, the lock opens up. I'm going to have to get a couple of door locks and go further with that to test the tools. One of my other locksmiths is telling me a different method that he uses, and he's going to send me a video on it. Not a video, but just a picture of the tools that he uses to unlock a house door. And that one's important because it's one of the bread and butters, as well as changing door pins and rekeying. Rekeying is a lot simpler. So anyway, this is all I wanted to tell you so far. All right, thanks.